We're going to work on flaps 2 and 3 of your foldable today. They're going to cover angle basics and special angle pairs. So first go to your angle basics flap. It will be green on top and I believe, yeah, yellow on bottom. And the first thing we're going to do is go over some vocabulary for these parts. So this is the angle basics part. It just needs to go over basics of angles, and some of this you may already know. Angles are made up of two rays. We learned how to annotate rays yesterday, so they look like this. So that is what your sides of angles should be named. So if you're ever asked to name the side of an angle, you will have to do it as a ray. They have a common endpoint called a vertex. So this piece right here of your angle is your vertex. This is the ray. This is a ray, and it is made into an angle. What you have all probably seen before, you just may not have realized that's made up of two rays that meet at a common endpoint called a vertex. Our next word is that you need to know what a vertex is. So whenever you have an angle, this little point right here is your vertex. Can't really see yellow. There. Interior angle of an angle is always the part that's inside of the angle given. So if this is my angle, this part will be the interior. Can't really get this green to be. Here, let's try it this way. This is the interior of my angle. There we go. If you have an obtuse angle, it's still going to be the inside. It'll just look a little bigger. So if this is my obtuse angle, then the interior part of my angle is all of this. It's usually where you were given the degree of your angle. It's on the inside. The exterior of an angle is everything outside of the interior. So again, if this is the same angle as above, the exterior part of the angle is all of this stuff. Everything on the outside of it. Again, if you're given an obtuse angle, it's all of this stuff. An acute angle, obtuse angle, and straight angle, these are things that you should remember from junior high, but I just wanted to make sure that you remembered them. An acute angle is anything between 0 and 90 degrees. So anything between 0 and 90, anything that looks like that's almost 90, but not quite. And even a teeny, teeny, tiny angle. There you go. An obtuse angle is between 90 and 180. So it's not quite 180, but it's almost. It's not quite 90, but almost. And then a straight angle is an actual straight line that is 180 degrees. It's always 180. That is your straight angle. I did forget a right angle, so just make sure that you know what a right angle is. It's 90 degrees. And of course it looks like this. And it's usually annotated by this little square that means 90 degrees. Sorry about that. Then we need to know how angles are shared or put together. The first one is adjacent angles. They share a side and a vertex. And there are several ways that you can name adjacent angles. The first one is just, if they give you numbers in between, is just name them by their number. So angle 1 and angle 2. If you can see that yellow, sorry. That is angle 2. I just want you to know which one I'm talking about. And then you can also name them by the letters. And so this is angle A, B, D, because whenever you would draw it, you would go through A, hit B, and go through D. So angle ABD. Then there is also angle DBC. So DBC. And you can write them backwards. And what I mean by that, this can also be called angle CBD, as long as B is always in the middle. And this first one can be labeled angle DBA, as long as B is always in the middle. The only thing you can never, ever, ever name this is just angle B. And this is why. Whenever you have two angles, if I name this angle B, am I talking about this angle? Am I talking about this angle? Or am I talking about the entire angle? So you can never, ever, ever name it angle B. You have to choose one of the above. Non-adjacent angles are angles that do not share a side. So just two separate angles. So 3 and 4 are adjacent angles. And anytime that you name an angle, you need to use this symbol. It just simply means angle. And then other non-adjacent angles, 5 and 7, are non-adjacent because they do not share a side. Of course, 6 and 7 are adjacent, and 5 and 6 are adjacent. 5 and 7, however, are not, because 6 is in between them. The last one is overlapping angles. They're angles with interior points that are common. So in our picture below, if we are talking about angle E, this angle here, FI, so that a whole angle there, angle EFI, that's all of this stuff. And then we talk about angle HFG, this angle here. They do have overlapping points, all of this here in the middle. So those are overlapping angles because they overlap there in the middle. Now let's go on to our next flap.